Hey people, hope everyone's having a good 24. So today I'm doing the video from my car because I really wanted to talk about something. Today what I want to talk about is methadone and suboxone and whether or not, it's a treatment that's viable, whether or not you should take it, what is it? So back in the 60s, after the Vietnam War, a lot of the soldiers came back hooked to morphine and heroin. So they also they decided to try and treat these addicts with methadone instead of the heroin. And so that's its initial purpose, was just for heroin, nothing else. So fast forward to the 2000s, after, Purdue basically created 30 million active addicts in North America. They decided that they had such a problem that, how are we going to address this? So they started using the methadone for everything, not just heroin, but any opiate, even for weekend warriors, people that would go out on the weekend and spend too much money, but thought they couldn't stop it, so they put them on methadone. Now here's the problem, guys. Listen to me carefully. Okay, if you know someone who's an alcoholic that drinks a 40-ouncer a day and switches to a light beer, is he still drinking? Absolutely, he's still drinking. When you are taking methadone or suboxone, you are taking an opiate. But what you're doing is trying to take an opiate that is legal and a doctor can prescribe and monitor you. Guys, I was on this shit for so many years. It's all crap. I mean, you go see your doctor once every 3 months for freaking 7 minutes, and if it wasn't for me trying to get off this stuff, it would never have happened. Nobody would have cared. Is there a place for methadone, suboxone? Absolutely. There is a place for it. For people that have tried recovery over and over, but just can't do it. It even says in the big book, there are the unfortunate few. Okay, I can see that purpose there. But if you're taking methadone just so you don't get sick, are you going to take methadone forever? Or when are you going to go through the withdrawals? You're going to have to go through them sooner or later. But now what's happened is you're making them 100 times worse. Listen, guys, I'm not trying to sit here and criticize methadone or suboxone. But what I am saying is that when you're on that program and you're taking an opiate, you're not working on yourself. You're not doing the steps. Maybe some people try to, but how can you when you're still using? My greatest recovery came from when I got off methadone. That was when I realized the freedom I had. I could jump on my bike. I can go to Cape Breton. I could go to a rally in Digby. I could do whatever I wanted. If my grandmother had a heart attack in Thunder Bay, I wasn't sitting there on the phone trying to call my doctor, trying to call the pharmacy, trying to arrange scripts, trying to see if I can get down there, freaking out because I think I'm going to miss it. Like, this is bullshit, guys. And not only that, when I was on Main Street Montague Pharmacy, Shoppers Drug Mart, they made my methadone 10 times too strong. I was on 90 milligrams. This is probably about 18 years ago. I ended up basically in the emergency, but it was too late to flush my system. They just monitored me, make sure I didn't need Narcan, things like that. But guys, these things happen. Listen, it depends on what you want. If you just want to stay off the whatever you're on, hydromorphone, hydrocontin, whatever the case may be, if you just fentanyl, if you just want off that and you just want to, basically get, an easy time recovery, then yeah, okay. But if you truly want recovery, and this is my personal opinion, opinions are like, everybody has one that's different. So don't take this to heart. But I believe methadone is no different than getting high. I really don't. What's the difference? It's like the light beer with the guy who drinks hard alcohol. It's still alcohol. You know what I mean? Is a light cigarette not a cigarette? Is a extra mild cigarette not a cigarette? Is a light beer not a light beer? Is an opiate not an opiate? Now that's the fact. Now, you know, if you're seriously gonna, you know, you can't face these withdrawals, you can't do it, you know, you think you just can't face that sickness, you know, maybe if you talk to your doctor and you started at a super low dose and quickly got yourself off it, you know, I don't know, it might help you stabilize, to get, you know, certain things in place in your life to help you. I don't know. But all I know, guys, is that if you take the methadone, you're going to be in for years and years of battles. There will come a time, I promise you, there will come a time where you want your freedom back, where you don't want to report to doctors and nurses, where you don't have to be like a child and bring back your empties so they can count them to make sure, you know what, that you never put it in another container. You know what I mean? Like, this is ridiculous. Going to a doctor and having to urinate. I actually have a case right now from when I was on methadone. I'm actually taking it to the Human Rights Tribunal because I don't believe when someone takes methadone for addiction, they're treated differently than someone who takes methadone for pain. I have a friend who had cancer and he was actually given methadone for pain. He used to be able to get a 30-day supply, no problem. That's what first got me started on the pills. Like, I went and said, what the heck's going on to my doctor? Why is he able to do this? Well, he takes the pills. You got to pay for the pills. I'll pay for the pills. I'll pay for the pills. I don't want to go every week to the friggin' pharmacy. You know what I mean? So anyway, you know, all you got to think is just for today. All the answers are there. Every tool you need is in recovery. Nothing is in those bottles. You cannot find peace, contentment, happiness in a bottle of methadone or suboxone. You will not do it. You can get yourself to a certain point where you can get yourself off it. Absolutely. But is it a long-term solution? Absolutely not. I don't believe it. I am against it. I believe that too many people are on it. You know what they said? You know what they said to me when I was going through detox in 1999, when my blood pressure was through the roof. I couldn't stand because the cramps were so bad in my legs. You know, that diarrhea was shooting out my ass. I was throwing up. You know what they said to me? They said this: "You will never forget this. You will never forget this. So the next time you use or think about using, think about this." And you know what? I forgot. So, and you know, I went on methadone, and my God, guys, I've only been on it, you know, I can't tell you. I was only the first person on it on PEI. My doctor's Dr. Carruthers. I've been his patient for 21 years. You know, I've only been on the streets for 10 years. So, you know, take it for what you will. You know, I'm not some straight Joe who just came out of high school and is telling you guys, hey, I'm telling you how to do your recovery. Absolutely not, guys. I've been there. And I don't want you to go there. You don't have to go there. If you're on methadone, talk to your doctor about getting off. The way I did it, I did 2 meals every other week. So 2 weeks, I'd be on 90. 2 weeks later, 88. 2 weeks later, 86. 2 weeks later, 84. And it took a long time, but eventually I got down to 4 meals. I quit at 4 meals. I almost flipping died, man. I almost died. I cannot tell you the pain, the agony I went through. I was working at Advantage Communications in Charlottetown. I remember I'd come home from a night shift and I'd be so tired, just exhausted. And then I'd go lay down, I couldn't sleep. And then I'd get up and then I'd end up not sleeping, or maybe, you know, a half an hour. And then I'd have to go to work. And I had no choice. Like this, you know, if I was to keep this family going, this is what we had to do, you know. So, you know, I'll never do that again, guys. I'll never put myself through that again. And anyway, you know, it's up to you. Every recovery is individual. Every recovery is, you is individual and not it's not a blanket. That not everything works for everybody. So at the end of the day, whatever works, work it, people. And remember, I love you and happy 24. Keep going.